Hey, Jeffrey here with Tracking Wonder, bringing you a canoe chat in response to two community members' questions. One is Melinda Laus asks, what is your perfect day scenario? And Marisa Gowdy writes, I love it when you bring Thoreau to the work at hand, and I'm curious how you ask what you do. Well, I appreciate these queries because they each kind of get at the heart of what I aspire to do and how I aspire to do things at Tracking Wonder. Which is to shape days. To shape days well has been almost a lifelong aspiration. I would say there's no such thing as a perfect day scenario. Rather, there is a day lived well and there is a day lived poorly, regardless of circumstances or unbidden surprises and challenges. And I've found that a day lived well includes two things. One is certain activities, two is certain attentiveness. I would say a day lived well is a day attended to well. So I'll unpack that a bit. I got my first taste of living out ideal days as a tow-headed boy who attended a public summer camp on hundreds of acres with lakes, a river, archery, canoeing. In fact, it was there that I actually earned badges in canoeing. It's where I learned how to canoe and love canoeing. But I also learned the value of a day fully lived, from the moment of waking up until falling asleep from a natural, well-earned exhaustion. And as I grew up, I often actually tried to recreate similar types of days, whether at school or on summer vacation. So fast forward to when I was an anxious, daydreaming 18-year-old undergrad at the University of Texas at Austin. This is in the Reagan 1980s, and so I default majored in business because I really didn't know what else I wanted to do with my life at that time. And then my English professor assigned us to read excerpts from Henry Thoreau's book, Walden, A Life in the Woods. And it was a revelation. It marked the first time I had ever read anyone's life philosophy, a philosophy of living simply and deliberately, and it really spoke to me at 18 years old. And then I came across this passage in Walden, where he says, it is something to be able to paint a particular picture or to carve a statue and so to make a few objects beautiful, but it is far more glorious to carve and paint the very atmosphere and medium through which we look, which morally we can do to affect the quality of the day. That is the highest of arts. That just blew me away. So no matter what choices I made throughout my grown-up life, I have aspired to master this very art of attention and perception to the day. This art is at the heart of Tracking Wonder no matter what happens to me in a day. But that's my story. What's your story with your days in this one beautiful life, the only one you get? So back to activities and attentiveness. You can take stock of what conditions are present when you feel lit up and alive, as if your unique genius is activated. These are your genius activities, right? Now, you can ask yourself, how could I aim to allot a total of 90 minutes each day to being activated? Now, for me, my genius activities include exploring the outdoors, giving myself space to think and imagine, to be in conversation with other people like you and with the world right around me. And then to make books and keynotes and workshops and wonder labs for companies and amazing client jams, and all from that thinking and imagining and conversing and researching. It includes being immersed with friends and clients and meeting new people. My genius activities include bonding with and exploring my two incredible daughters and my wife. It includes developing new skills, learning new knowledge. All of those are some of my genius activities. I can't be in them for all day long, although I try. But those are my genius activities. What about yours? Because a day lived well is a day also well attended to. So it's not just what we're doing, but how we're choosing to pay attention and with what quality of lens. So on many evenings, you might ask, how well did I tend to this day? Because it's a question you might ask at the end of this one beautiful life. I would say that a life lived well involves the quality of your attention every day. Now, maybe I'm a chronic daydreamer who happens to get a heck of a lot done in any day. But maybe to be a daydreamer just means you try to dream the day into its full being as much as possible. So much is possible. Be well, and thanks for running with me.